Alright, so now is the time where we can do our skip and previous commands, which will allow us to go forward and backward in the queue and basically just skip or go to previous songs. So without further ado, let's just get started, and we can copy this command, and I'm going to go all the way down just above the Q command. So we're going to go below the resume command. And I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to basically just say previous is the name of the command. And we'll have PRE or just PR for our aliases. And then we can say async def previous and pass in self and CTX. Boom. Alright, so we'll get our guild ID. And remember, this is just getting the server ID. Then we're going to say if self.vc at ID equals none, then we're going to await ctx.send and say you need to be in a VC to use this command. And then we're also going to say elif self.qindex at ID is less than or equal to 0. Then we're going to await ctx.send. There is no previous song in the queue. Replaying current song. And then we're just going to say after that self.vc at ID dot pause and await self dot play music at CTX. So far what this is doing is this is basically taking first of all, it's checking if the VC is none, and if there isn't a VC, then it's just saying you need to be in a VC to use this command. Then we're saying if the Q index is less than 0, so if it isn't like a valid Q index, once we go previous, we can't go to a song before the first song. So we're just saying, okay, we're going to replay the current song, which is using this function that we did a while ago, play music, which is just the play music function, which will basically just play the current song again. And it's pausing the VC before that. So then we're also going to say elif self.vc at ID does not equal none, and self.vc at ID. Then we're going to say self.vc at ID dot pause, and we are going to say self.qindex minus equals 1, which will just subtract 1 from it, and await self.play music at CTX. So here we're just saying if the Q index is 0, then we're just going to replay the current song. If you're able to go to a previous song, then subtract 1 from the Q index and then play the song. And that is our entire previous command. And the skip command is very, very similar. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it down here, and we're going to say skip, and we'll have our alias be sk, and then we're gonna say async def skip at self and ctx. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy all of this code from the previous command and paste it in this, and then we're just gonna change a few things. So first of all, if it ends up doing the thing, then we want to add 1 to the Q index and then play the song rather than subtracting 1. Then what we can do is, for checking if the Q index is correct, we basically want to figure out, hey, is there a song in the queue that we can go to that is next? So instead of saying is less than or equal to 0, because we're not subtracting, so we don't care if there's one beforehand, we're going to say is greater than or equal to the length of self.music queue at ID and then -1. So we're taking the length of the entire queue and we're subtracting 1 and we're checking if the queue index is greater than or equal to that. So if it is, then it means that there are no possible songs next to be playing. So it's just going to replay the current song. If it is less than this right here, less than the length of the music queue, then we're able to add something to it and then play the next one. So both of these were very simple. I'm going to save it right now, and I'm going to go to main.py and press run. And then if I open up Discord, I can say play NCS and then play hello world. And then if I do the queue, then I can see that NCS is in the first slot and hello world is in the second slot. So if I do skip, then it should play hello world. Oh, whoops. I forgot to do queue index at ID for both of these things. So make sure we're saying queue index at ID minus equals 1 and queue index at ID plus equals 1. Sorry about that. I'm going to rerun this now. So here we go. If we open up this, then I should be able to say play NCS and play hello world. And again, if I see the queue, then it's in the queue. And then if I do skip, now it plays hello world. Yep, you can hear it. There we go. And then if I go skip again, it says there's no previous... Oh, we got to change that too. We're going to say there's no next song in the queue. And I misspelled previous as well. But for the purposes of coding, it's fine. And then if I go previous, then it should go to the non-copyright stuff. And if I go previous again, there's no previous song in the queue, replaying current song. So that is how our skip and previous commands work. And that is pretty cool. I think that that is all of the commands in this music bot. So now I think what we're going to do next is we're actually going to make our help cog. So if I say leave, we actually made a help cog at the very beginning, and that is what we're going to be putting our code in next.